Live better and longer with the Fitzness Show, hosted by fitness expert, author, and TV personality Fitz Kohler. She'll tell you why diets are dumb, supplements are snake oil, and the truth about how you can earn a lean, hard, pain-free, and athletic body. Now for our favorite bossy blonde, Fitz Kohler.
Hi, team. I'm Fitz Kohler, your very noisy race announcer from fitzness.com, and welcome to the Fitzness Show. I have a lot to cover today. That's right. We are going to cover the CrowdStrike debacle, and we are going to talk about the rock band that was mean to me, and I'm going to answer some of your questions. Yes, there was a rock band, a real one that you know of, that was personally mean to me, and I can't wait to share all of that with you. So just to let you know, if you listen to my last podcast, I was bragging about going to the St. Louis Zoo. I was supposed to announce a Mud Girl event in St. Louis last weekend, and the best laid plans, right? I woke up Friday morning, and it's very funny because I live in Gainesville, Florida, small town, and I'm approximately 15-minute drive to the airport. And so if I have a 6 a.m. flight, which I almost always do, I wake up at 4:15. I jump in the shower. I throw on my clothes. I put on a tiny bit of makeup. I'm out of my house by 4:35. I'm at the airport by 5 o'clock. And then I just cruise through TSA and I'm at my gate with no problem. Last Friday, I woke up at 5:15. That's right. For some reason, I slept straight through my alarm clock for an hour. And when I woke up, I had that heart attack that, oh God, no, I missed it. And then I thought, no, I'm going to get dressed. I'm going to get going. And I got there, actually got dropped off. I got to TSA at 5:41. Now this, for some reason, my flight wasn't at 6. It was at 6:20. So I thought, woohoo, big win for Fitz Kohler. I go to TSA and I know most of the TSA folks because I'm there all the time. And one of my favorites, I told him, I said, oh my God, my alarm didn't go off. He goes, are you flying to Dallas? I said, no, I'm flying to Atlanta on Delta. He goes, yeah, that flight's been delayed. I said, what? He goes, yeah, it's delayed 2 hours. Go home. The Delta folks won't even come out until 8:30. There's some sort of glitch in their app. And I thought, well, that's weird. And so I did go home. And then I proceeded to have the next 4 flights I was booked on completely canceled, along with probably millions of other people trying to get anywhere in this world. And I actually booked a backup flight on American. Now, American, I booked the flight at 6:30 for an 8:30 flight. They already knew that 8:30 flight was delayed, and they still sold it to me. And they won't give me my money back. So down with American. I hope if you know American people, you wag your finger at them and you tell them that their policies stink because they didn't advertise their delayed flight, which totally would not have gotten me to St. Louis on time. So anyways, I did not go to St. Louis. It's the first time in my entire career for any reason whatsoever that I no-showed. And that felt very bad. I did not enjoy doing that, not only because I want to hold up my obligations, but I really wanted to be with all of those mud girls. So I was quite sad about that. And also, no zoo. That's right. So I was going to brag about the zoo today. Apparently, I am not bragging about the zoo today. Boo-hoo for all of that. So I was victimized by the CrowdStrike nonsense. I'm supposed to get on a flight to Minneapolis Friday morning to announce Mud Girl Minneapolis. So I'm really hoping all of that goes well. We just received an email from Ed Bastian, the CEO of Delta, telling everybody that flights should resume as normal on Wednesday. Thursday should definitely look normal. So I'm a hoping and a praying. That's right. I've become a praying woman because my flights have not been reliable. So anywho, that is that. Before I go any further, if you haven't already done so yet, using the app, will you leave me a review? That's my big ask. Use the app and then say something nice or leave some stars, and that'll make me happy. Also, I'd love it if you share. If you like my podcast, I would like for you to tell a friend. The marketing side of thing, it's not my strong suit, but I know you are my best customer. That's right. So you've been listening, you enjoy, you keep coming back. So tell someone about it, please. And thank you. Okay. So again, we're going to talk Q&A because I want to answer your fitness questions, but I got a little story to tell. So my neighbor across the street, this guy, Glenn is such a wonderful, wonderful man. He's a single guy. He's been living over there forever. We get along great. And he's very sweet. He buys my kids Christmas presents every year, even though he's a Jewish guy. He's just a doll. He's one of those dream neighbors. And he is from Jacksonville, Florida. And he was friends with the guys from Limp Bizkit before they were big and fancy Limp Bizkit. And so we've talked about Limp Bizkit for many, many years, as long as we've lived here across from each other. And he's always talking about Sam. Sam is his best bud, Sam. And recently, Glenn and I were talking, and he said, "Oh, Limp Bizkit's coming in concert." Oh, and mind you, Glenn used to also be one of their roadies. He would go on tour with Limp Bizkit and just loves them. And so this summer or this spring, when he said, "Hey, Limp Bizkit's coming to town," I said, "Oh my God, I'm going to get tickets. I want to go." He said, "Well, why don't we go together?" I said, "That'd be great." He said, "I'll call Sam. We'll get backstage passes." I said, "Great. That sounds fun." I do love Limp Bizkit. They're wonderful. I remember many, many a days with Break Stuff and Nookie. Some classic anthems over there. So, and I've never seen them in concert. So Glenn and I have been planning this big trip to Tampa to go see Limp Bizkit for quite a while. And I was told that Corey freaking Feldman is their opening act. And Corey's a little crazy, right? I don't know what's going on with him. I follow him. I think he's hilarious. And he performs. He sings. I totally wanted to see that. So very excited about Limp Bizkit. Very excited about Corey Feldman. So Glenn and I have got plans. I think it's August 13th or something for the concert. So anywho, about a week ago, I was chatting with Glenn, as we do when we pull into the house or whatever. And I said, "Hey, Glenn, I got a question for you." I said, "Do you know if any of the Limp Bizkit guys work out?" He goes, "Ha ha ha, I doubt it, but maybe. Why?" And I said, "If we're going to be there." Oh, and he did get us backstage, mind you. They hooked us up. We're going to go backstage and do that thing. So I said, "Well, maybe if any of them work out, maybe they'd be interested in doing a little interview with me, because I think they'd be great role models." I think that Fred looks really good. I don't know. None of them look like they're in terrible shape, I don't think. And I imagine it's pretty tricky to stay fit on the road. And so if I asked them for some of their pointers and they shared some pointers, maybe some of their fans would say, "You know what? Fred and Sam do push-ups in their hotel room, so I'm going to do that," or whatever. So that was it. It was not a big deal. It wasn't the reason we were going. It was just part of the deal that I was like, maybe while we're there. So Glenn says, "I'll ask." Great. So a few days ago, Glenn texted me. He said, "Can you come out?" I said, "Sure." And so I meet him on the front porch, and poor Glenn is pacing. He's kind of glossy-eyed. He's breathless. He's really kind of upset. I said, "Are you all right?" And his mother last year had cancer, breast cancer. And I connected with both of them regularly because of that. I was really worried. And he said, "Well, I'm so sorry, but I got on the phone with Sam about the concert, and we were talking about this or that. And I guess we were chatting for like 30 minutes. And then Glenn said, 'Hey, do any of the guys in the band work out?' And he said, 'Not really, ha ha ha, but maybe one of the guys lifts a little bit. Why?' And Glenn said, 'Well, my neighbor who I'm bringing, she's a media personality in the fitness space, and she thought it might be fun to do a little interview if that was okay, if any of you fit the bill.' And he goes, 'I don't know. What do you think?' And apparently Sam was with Fred. And so they looked me up. They went to my website. I don't know where they went. They looked me up, and then they said, 'No, we can't do it,' which is just fine. They don't want to do an interview. Who cares? No big deal. I'm excited to see the concert." And he goes, "Well, she can't come." And Glenn said, What do you mean she can't come?" They said, "Well, we don't want to worry about media backstage, so she can't come." And he's like, "She's not really media. She was offering up this thing. If not, she just really wants to listen to your music and have a fun night." They said, "No, she can't come." So now I just want you all to know that I am on par with the National Enquirer. That's right. How tragic for me that now I don't know if they think I'm a gossip columnist or anything. I'm none of those things. I really just want to go hear Nookie and Break Stuff and all the other things. But yeah, so they have banned me. So I'm not going to the Limp Bizkit concert. Boo-hoo. Not going to see Corey Feldman and all of that, whatever that would entail. Boo-hoo. And yeah, it's just fine. Poor Glenn was so upset. And I just said, "Listen, you just gave me 12 hours of my life back. I'm very busy, so this is just fine. And he was so upset. He goes, I'm thinking about not going. And I said, Glenn, you got to go. You got to go. You got to go see your bestie, Sam, and hang out and have fun. And just because I'm now banned, oh my gosh, like I'm sort of threat. But yeah, I thought it was very funny. I said, honestly, Glenn, this makes a much funnier story, much more interesting story that I was banned by Limp Bizkit versus me coming on the air and saying, oh my God, I had a killer time at the Limp Bizkit concert and I haven't missed a beat and they're still wonderful. So anyways, no sour grapes. I still think they're awesome. I love Limp Bizkit. I think their music's fantastic. And I know Glenn's going to have a great time and so is everybody. But yeah, isn't that interesting? Fred and Sam of Limp Bizkit said, no, Fitz Kohler, you cannot come. So I'm happy to have that off my chest. I feel better. I feel better about, you just can't win them all. You can't win them all. Now, mind you, if it was a Garth Brooks concert and someone was bringing me backstage and then Garth said, no, Fitz, you can't come, I'd probably really be sad. I probably would have a sad, sad time. Maybe even let half a tear shed from my eye. I might let that happen. But anyways, Limp Bizkit, oh well. I guess they don't like me or whatever. It's fine. It's fine. Woo! So, okay, now I've got that off of my chest. Now I'm going to talk about fitness because that's kind of what y'all came here for. Okay, I have some questions that y'all have sent me and I'm going to answer them for you because I think they're good questions that deserve answering. So Krista Swanson sent me a message on fitzness.com. She said, you battled cancer. My health issues are nothing compared to that. It's not a competition, Krista. It never is. She says, but I have been forced to rest and step back from long distances while my body heals. How do you find patience and strength during rest? And how do you celebrate the small victories after dealing with health issues? So first of all, I'm an incredible patient. If my doctor tells me to do something, I do it. If my doctor tells me not to do something, I don't do it. I take that advice seriously and really, I just want to heal. That's the thing is I remember having I broke my foot in many places while kickboxing. 5th metatarsal, a Jones fracture, which is a real problem, along with the 3rd and the 4th. And I had soft tissue damage. And my doctor said, first of all, they said, you need surgeries. And I said, no, I can't do surgeries. I've got a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old. I don't have the time to be down. And they said, well, if you don't do surgery, you have to be non-weight bearing on off that foot for, it was 14 weeks. And you could come at the end of that 14 weeks. And if it doesn't heal, you may still have to have surgery. But I opted for off of my feet for 14 weeks. And he said, if you fall on something else. And so I actually did fall on other things, but I never put my foot down. Never once, never put any pressure on it because I really, really wanted to heal. And so if you've just had a rotator cuff surgery, leave that arm alone. Do exactly what you're told to do. When they tell you to go to physical therapy, go to physical therapy. When they tell you to get a massage, you get a massage. I mean, all of these tidbits of advice usually come with evidence, right? They've learned that this is how you heal this particular injury. And so I start by being an excellent patient. So I do no harm. The doctors, they're not supposed to do any harm, and you're not supposed to do any harm to yourself as well. So start by being a fantastic patient, but then know that you don't have to give up on exercise completely just because one part of your body is injured. So if you have an upper body injury, well, go to town on your lower body, right? Walk, run, skip, do elliptical, do stairs, do cycling, a stationary bike. Use your lower body, do lunges and squats and leg lifts and things that you can that do not affect the injured part of your upper body. If you have a lower body injury, well, then go all out with your upper body. Use your core. Find machines that you can do for cardio that do not involve that injured part. There's a new step, which is a really clever piece of cardio equipment. I used to be spokesperson for them. You can do a new step with the left arm and the right leg, or just the arms and no legs, or just the legs and no arms, or just one leg. So it really is an adaptive piece of equipment that anyone with any sort of disability or injury can use. I also found a kayaking machine. So a rowing machine, you have to put your feet on the pedals and kind of push and pull. The kayaking machine allowed me to sit there and just paddle with my arms. And so you just got to be creative, right? Injuries don't always have to sideline you completely. Sometimes they just force you to think outside the box, get creative. But yeah, so that helps me mentally, because when I'm injured, I'm not completely exercise impotent. I can find something to do. And that keeps me going, not only physically, but mentally. And I know my mental health definitely relies on me being active. And then the other thing is just to celebrate the wins, whatever they are. If you're getting back to running after hurting your ankle or your Achilles or your hamstring, whatever it is, be reasonable. Start with that 1 minute of running and be done and celebrate that. I just ran 1 minute. That was awesome. Tomorrow, I'm going to run 2 minutes. And so I've experienced having losses, not only orthopedic issues, knees and ankles and so forth, but with cancer, there was loss. And then eventually I started getting little wins. And gosh, I love those little wins. So that's how I deal with it. I get creative and I force in fitness wherever I can. And then I celebrate me, and I'm a good patient. That's a great question, Kristen. I know a lot of people have the same issue. They've sprained their ankle, or they broke the wrist. Now they feel like they can't do anything, and that's just inaccurate. You can do stuff. You just got to figure out what you can do and do that. And then when you start making your way back to regular exercise, do so with caution. Bring in a physical therapist if you can, and take baby steps for the win. That was an awesome question. Okay. Next question. What's the weirdest fitness trend I've ever tried or wanted to try? So, I've done a little bit of everything, I feel, but many years ago, Jamba Juice, the people who make smoothies, they used to send me all around the country to go to these little events they had, and they always built each event around unique fitness trends. And I remember being, in a few locations, but in Chicago, I think it was called Manhattan Beach. I'm not sure, but we were out on the beach, or maybe it might have been Long Beach, California. Either way, we did circus fitness, where a trainer came in and had a group of us do circus exercises together. And I do remember creating a big human pyramid. That was fun. And we were active, right? It wasn't the traditional push, pull, step, but we were climbing around each other. And I love that. The same day, we also did parkour. And if you're familiar with parkour, basically you run around and you use objects in nature to advance your exercise. So I don't know, we were jumping off of all sorts of weird things and we would yell parkour. It was very silly, but that was a lot of fun. Also did a workout class. I don't think this trend actually really caught on, but they had a bunch of paddle boards in a pool, and we got in the pool and we got up on these paddle boards like we were surfing. And so we would squat on the surfboard, and then we would try to go from goofy foot to southpaw, left foot forward to right foot forward, as if we were surfing the waves. And we would get down on the boards and paddle with our arms. The boards couldn't go anywhere because they were tethered to either side of the pool, but it was fun. I'm trying to think what else. Oh, I've done drumming fitness, where you get the drumsticks and you drum on a Bosu ball. I don't know. It can all be very normal or very weird, but those are the actual fitness classes that I think are probably the most unique I've ever taken. And I enjoy it. I enjoy it all. I enjoy a break in the monotony. I enjoy getting to do something different. Oh, you know what else I did? I did suspension yoga once. I was on Catalina Island in California, and I think my back was out from a crazy flight or whatever, but I got there and I wanted to do yoga, and they had suspension yoga. So they had a harness, and we were held up, I think, by a harness around our waist and our hips, and it was tethered to the top of the wall at the ceiling, and we got to bend and stretch in all sorts of upside down ways. That was really fun. So those are top of mind, the most unique fitness classes I've ever taken, and I like them a lot. And folks, if you're ever given a chance to go do something kind of weird, take it, because if it's weird, you are not obligated to be good. There's no expectation that you'll be good because you're trying something new and strange. And so go for it. If you may fall in love with it, you may want to stick with it forever. It might be your new thing in fitness, or it will be good for a few laps. And so, give stuff a try, even if the stuff doesn't seem up to your fitness level, right? So there's some things I've done, the drumming fitness on the Bosu. That wasn't taxing at all. That didn't get my heart rate up, but I had fun, and I was moving my body, and I was engaged with other humans, and we had music on, and it was all win, 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 win. So variety is the spice of life. And the same thing goes with fitness. If you're constantly changing up the activities you choose to engage in, your body will constantly have to adjust and have to work hard to keep up with the new variety of exercises it's doing. So there's very little risk for a negative when you try something new. Okay. Have I ever participated in a fitness competition or challenge? Well, I think I do lots of fitness challenges with endurance races, whether it's the marathon or the 5K or a obstacle course race, which I love, triathlon, kickboxing matches. That was a fitness challenge, but I think they're leaning towards figure competitions, the kind where you're supposed to look a certain way. And fitness competitions are kind of like bodybuilding competitions, but toned down a bit. The athletes, the competitors don't have the same mass amount of musculature. And you know what's so funny? I did think of competing in one. I was fighting and I was pretty ripped because I was fighting. I was very lean and I thought maybe I'll do that. And I think that consideration lasted about 2 hours because then I thought, you know what? I never want to be judged on my appearance again. I think there were times in my youth that I was, but yeah, I don't ever want anyone to give me a rating based on what I look like. I just thought, meh. So 2 hours of considering a fitness competition. And then I decided it's a no-go. Just doesn't suit me. And why would it? Why would it? Why do I need to do that? Get in a bikini and strut around on stage. Now, mind you, it works for a lot of people and good for them. But for me, I don't need that. It wouldn't be good for my mental health, I am sure. Okay. How do I stay motivated to keep fit on the days where I just don't feel like it? So, number one, I equate exercise and nutrition to brushing your teeth. You know, even if I don't really care to brush my teeth, I'm going to do it anyways. I brush my teeth every day, no matter what. Folks, I want you to know I also floss. That's right. I'm a real crazy person when it comes to self-care. I brush and I floss. But exercise is synonymous to me as an essential ingredient in my day or my week. Now, mind you, I definitely take days off of exercise here and there. That goes without say. But sometimes I have exercise planned and I don't want to. I definitely do. And so what I do at that point is I decide if it's a need to. So strength training for me, I try to do every other day, almost no matter what. And so with that, I'll stick on schedule. If I have strength training on the schedule, I will get there. And you know what I do? I drive my Jeep over to the gym and then I'll sit in my car. This is me. I get to the gym and then I just spend 20 minutes decompressing, scrolling on my phone. Maybe I FaceTime a friend. Maybe I just scroll up and down Instagram and look at funny animal videos or whatever. But yeah, I like to sit there and then eventually I'm willing to put on my running shoes and go in. So even if I don't want to, I just drive myself there and then I wait. I'm patient with myself. And then I get up and I go in. And sometimes that workout isn't the best workout ever. And that's still okay. I can go through a decent workout and walk out of the gym as a successful person. It's interesting. The running industry has the same kind of mindset where people come out of a race. They'll go, oh, well, I didn't PR. Okay, well, you can't PR every race. You can't. Some of your races are going to be freaking awesome and you're going to feel fantastic and you're going to be on fire. When you cross that finish line, you might even think, gee whiz, I could have gone a little further. And then some races, you're not. You're going to fall short of your best time or you're going to do way worse, but you still went out and covered the distance, right? 13 miles or 5 miles or 3 miles. It counts whether you went fast or slow. And so the same thing goes for me at the gym. If I go to the gym and I'm planning my strength training workout, you betcha I'm doing all the things on my agenda. I might not feel woohoo, I'm killing it today, but I'm still doing it. I'm still doing 10 repetitions at 140 pounds for my row 3 times. You know what I'm saying? So whether I feel it or not, if I go do it, that's all that matters. And then if it's not strength training on my schedule, let's say I'm supposed to run. Let's just say running's on my schedule. I don't feel like running. Okay, well, I'll find something else to do. I'll go walking or I'll get on the elliptical or I will get on the trampoline or I'll go dance. There's a million other options. And just because one doesn't look enticing doesn't mean none of them look enticing. And at worst, I throw my dogs on a leash and we go out and we go hiking. And that's great for my physical and my mental health. But yeah, on a rare occasion, I'll just cancel. I'll say, forget it. Quite often that comes when I'm jet lagged. I might take an extra day off because I feel like I really need it. But, with a little time or just a commitment to getting it done, whether it feels good or looks great or not, that often goes a long way when I just don't want to do it. What's my favorite type of music to listen to when working out? I just like anything upbeat, anything. My playlist has Queen on it. It has Taylor Swift. It has Ludacris. It has Garth Brooks. It has a bunch of rappers. It's got Wham on it and the Pointer Sisters. It's got everything. As long as it's upbeat, I am very much go, 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 go. Even when I'm moving slow, I like fast-paced music. But here's the difference. Oh, and I'm never going to listen to sappy romance while I'm exercising. That is a stopper right there. That is a stop sign. I will not do it. I don't like it. I don't enjoy it. I need something thumping when it comes to music. But I can bypass music altogether and listen to podcasts. So much like I'm yammering in your ear right now, I love listening to people yammer on while I exercise. In fact, podcasts for me fill a certain space because my brain does not like too much quiet time. A little bit, yes. I can tell you my body definitely likes quiet time. I can sit out on the couch in my pergola in the backyard for a very long time and relax. But my mind does not like to go idle. So either I'm thinking about something and I'm finding a solution, or I'm coming up with a new idea, or thinking about you, which I cannot turn off. The only way I can turn it off is if I have somebody else providing input into my ear. And so I utilize podcasts to calm my own brain on a regular basis. I also use books on tape, or not tape, audiobooks, audiobooks. But yeah, so it's either high energy music in my ear or people talking. That's right. That's what I listen to. But really, you listen to whatever works for you. If you like the mushy gushy stuff, if you can run real hard to Careless Whisper by Wham, all right, do it. Some people tell me they like classical music. In fact, Chuck Engel, he was a guest on my podcast last month, and we did a 2-hour episode. He's a marathon junkie. He's run 500 marathons at a sub 3-hour pace. So he's a very fast, capable runner. He does not like to run with music, but I pinned him down. I said, Chuck, if you were going to choose a song to listen to for 26.2 miles over and over, what would it be? He said spa music. You know, that strange little probably birds chirping and Enya, whatever, instrumental music. That's what he would run to. So again, whatever works for you works for me. It doesn't really matter. We don't have to have all these things in common. Hopefully the things we have in common are that we exercise often and we watch what we put in our mouth and we get the sleep and we remove the cranky people. Not so complicated, right, friends? Okay, listen, that was the shortest podcast in the history of podcasts, but I thought you needed a shorty, and I want you all to wish me luck. Cross your fingers and your arms and even cross your legs, because I am going to attempt to get back on Delta Airlines Friday and fly myself to Minneapolis. That's right. And get muddy with thousands and thousands of raucous women, which I'm very excited about. If you've not done so already, click like. If you haven't ordered your running flag shirt, do it. It's so cute. The stripes are made out of red running shoes and the stars are replaced with little microphones. And I love seeing all the photos of you guys wearing them. They're so freaking cute. So cute. Like you. I'd like to take a minute to congratulate both Lori Weiner and Tim Patton for their success with the Pan Am Games, the Masters Half Marathon. Both of them ran it this past weekend in Cleveland, and Lori had a fantastic race, as she does. Lori's an animal, and Tim not only had a fantastic race, but he placed third in his age group. And this is all of America. So all of North and Central and South America. That's the competition at the Pan Am Games, and these two killed it, and they're just awesome. You know what? I'm so fortunate to have so many of you, not only as my runners and my hotties. These two are part of my Hottie Body Fitzness Challenge, where I guide a massive group of folks on Facebook to fitness, to healthier lifestyle, to eating wisely and exercising often. But they're friends. You know, they're just wonderful, flipping people that I enjoy, and it's so much fun to root for them. Like many of you, you know, it's just, it's awesome to be a part of your success. So congratulations, Lori. And Congratulations, Tim. Tim is over the moon about his third place finish and that beautiful medal, and he has every right to be. Our song of the week. You want to know what our song of the week is? Break Stuff by Limp Bizkit. That's right. I'm so non-bitter. And I'm telling you, get online and download their song, Break Stuff. It's such a good one. That's actually, yeah, you should do some dancing or running or karate or lifting, something to break stuff this week. It's up there. It's up there with all the good ones. Okay, that's it. Know that I love you and know that I want you to get to work. Bye, team.
Hi, this is Rudy Novotny, the voice of America's Marathons. We all love how much running has benefited every aspect of our lives, so much so that most of us only wish we'd started sooner. Wouldn't it be wonderful to gift the opportunity to children of today? Well, you can. The Morning Mile is a before-school walking and running program that gives children the chance to start each day in an active way while enjoying fun, music, and friends. That's every child, every day. It's also supported by a wonderful system of rewards, which keeps students highly motivated and frequently congratulated. Created by our favorite fitness expert, Fitz. Morning milers across the country have run over 2 million miles and are having greater success with academics, behavior, and sports because of it. The Morning Mile is free to the child, free to the school, and is inexpensively funded by businesses or generous individuals. Help more kids get moving in the morning by visiting morningmile.com. Champion the program at your favorite school or find out more about sponsorship opportunities. That's morningmile.com. Long may you run.